Hello, welcome to Fermi CG. Today I'm going to show you how to create this kind of character, the manga style character within Blender. Actually, it's not modeled in Blender, but you can get this kind of characters model outside and you can bring it in Blender or any kind of 3D software. You can actually, it's free. I will show you. Before jumping into the tutorial, I will show you this is a cool manga character. So I modeled using a specific program. I will show you later. So this is kind of very cool, and actually it has bone skeletons, so you can see thing here, can see. So you can it's actually animation ready. You can do motion capture animation, or you can export it to Adobe Fuse or Adobe Mixamo, and you can animate your character there, or you can use the inbuilt Blender animation or mocap, or you can do any kind of animations. Actually it has a pretty good blend shape or the shape key also. So if I select the face, and you can see there is a lot of shape key also. So you can, if I increase the value, you can see it's actually, you can make character animation, mouth expression, or talking, lip syncing, that kind of. See, you can actually create a lot of animation using this. See, this kind of it's very good. So it has a lot of animation built-in shape keys, or whatever you call the blend shape, or in Maya. So see, you can create actual expression, you can create bone animation, all these things, and they have built-in expressions. So you can see, and this is very cool way of creating your own character. If you don't know how to model, but you still want something cool for your animation, if you know how to animate, or you can make things by ready-made assets. So I will show you how to make this kind of things. So in order to do this, you have to install some add-ons and programs. So I will show you which program you want. So you have to jump into VRoid.com. It's actually a Japanese site. You have to use Google Chrome, and you can change the language to English, so it will show you how to create this kind of manga style characters. So they have some pretty basic characters available there. These are actually available free to use, and it come with the software, and the software is also free to use, and it for only for Windows and Mac. I don't know if it's available for Linux or not. I didn't see anything here. So it can actually have for your mobile also, and that's very good. So you have to download the VRoid Studio program. So it's actually based on Unity or some kind of game engine. You can use create 3D characters, and you can make it for Unity, and see, you can create potential everywhere. So that kind of things you can do. So you have to get into VRoid, take a VRoid for character, and you can see the character make easy to create original character using expensive. So actually, if you can draw things, you can make if you have a tablet, not like this, you can actually draw using your mouse, and you can create all kind of things, all kind of styling, all things just like drawing. So it's very easy. I will show you the software also. So we have to download, and I see it has a pen functionality, and you can create, adjust the slide, just adjusting the slider, you can create different looking characters. And you have to download from here. See, VRoid Studio beta, and you have, it's confirmed that you have only Windows and Mac version, so sorry for Linux users. And there is no program available for Linux, but you can use some kind of virtualization software available, and you can use that, and or maybe you can use the mobile version. So you have to download that. I check in the Windows 64-bit version, and it's around 600 MB. You have to download, no need to install, just extract the file, and you can jump into working that. So I will show you in this program interface. So we'll open that. Actually, I create a shortcut, VRoid Studio. just opening it, it will ask for to create something. If you need the sample avatars, and you can change the language to English or Japanese or Chinese, I think, and the preview quality also you can adjust how the quality works. So it's depending on the hardware you're using. If you have a decent graphics card, you can use high quality, but actually I'm using my laptop, so it's normal, it's good. You can select any of these characters, or you can create new avatar. So actually I created that based on new avatar, so I will show you that the one I created. It's pretty simple. So see, I have actually I created using the all these sliders. I didn't use any pen tablet here, and the moving around is using your mouse. So right click, you can rotate, middle click, you can pan, so, and zoom is scrolling your mouse, middle button scroll. So this is pretty simple, and you can see there is not much heavy stuff going on here. Everything simple. So you have face editor, hair editor, body editor, a clothing editor, general editor, and exporter. So this will you get the actual avatar, the manga character. So I will show you before jumping into the modeling session. I will show you some cool stuff they are providing. So you can have some animation, cool animation with using this. So I'm just using a female character. So there is there is a pose, male animation and female animation. You can use if you want to create your own pose, you can select the handles and you can pose, and you can use female animation. So based on this character, you can see it actually has a walking, running, standby, different kind of standby. So this is very cool animation, cool software. You can check and you can create different kind of animation. So we will jump to this. Okay, so if any kind of if you create from scratch, or if you select any preset animation, you will start from here, the face editor. So it has all this functionality you can change. I will make it as a default. I think it's from clothing. So we will if you delete all this action, so I will use a base model. So this kind of if you make a base model, this will be the model you will get. You can use this model as a reference, and you can change all the settings. Don't make this as a nudity, because we are talking about modeling, so we have to make something like this. So it's pretty good. Called whatever called the body shape or anything, it's actually made for you. There you have to adjust the slider. So if you bring if you make any basic character, it will come like this, or it will be clothed. So maybe some cloth will be there, only the hair will be changed. So if you select some characters built in, so it will be something like this. So you have to go to the general editor, make it base model, so it will look like you can adjust everything. So, and the second what we going to use is the face editor. So we will zoom into the face, and we can actually go to first hair editor. We can remove this. We will use a base hair. I think okay, we'll actually I made some here, so we'll okay. So this is the actual character. If you create it from a new avatar, you will get, and the contour won't be like this. So I just created some adjustment here. We will talk that later, and the face adjustment also. So we will start with the face editor. You can either use as a new, or you can use this so it's not important. So we'll use from the you have to I will start from the face contours. So it's actually the priority they given is that from eyes, but actually we will start drawing the face. So we will start from the face only, and you can adjust the face position. See, actually you have to adjust all these things, the sliders. You can position upward, all these things, chin position, all these are, see, you can adjust this, and you need to, or you have to adjust it. So it's pretty straightforward, and you can adjust your ear, so you make it small, big, so, and mouth, you can change the position upward, downward, or it depends on how you are going to adjust your characters. You can make some kind of alien kind of avatar or some childish avatar, so it's all depends on you. First create the face, depending on how you want to create, then make the adjustment. So there is no for the nose there is no shape adjustment, only the position adjustment. So you can use the eyebrows. See, you can adjust any kind of eyebrows also. Actually it's not depending on the expression, so you can create that in the expression, but the base, how the basic character will look like, you can adjust all these eyebrows and their position. See, distance, all these things you can adjust, and then you can change the shape of the eye how you want. You can adjust all these things. So this is pretty straightforward. You can adjust all the colors in the second time. You can change, actually you can change the color of the eyes, and all these things you can change later. So you can adjust all these things. So I'm not going to show you how all these things. So basically you have to adjust the sliders and you will get some shape. If you know how to have the character shape, because just experiment with that and make rotate and see if it's looking good. Just stick with that, and you can have the texture here. Then we will so you can see, if you click the texture you can actually paint. Okay, so we will get the texture and the layer. Okay, so we select, actually if you have a paint, the pen tool, you can change. See, you can make here paint, or you can here or use, you can adjust if you want a red paint, red dot. So all these things, just experiment with this, and you can create, or you can change the if you make the design, you can change all these things, and you can actually change all the textures individually. So this is pretty cool. And one thing I want to show you is the hair editor. So she has a default hair, you can make it hidden, so she will be bald, and you can actually create a procedural hair group here. You can use maybe import from preset, but I don't have any preset here. I don't create any preset, and you can use a procedural hair group. That's a pretty good thing. So just wait to make. Okay, so I start from this. So there you can adjust all these things, position, offset, all these things we will use, and these settings here, and there will be the offset. We will adjust very close to her face. Then we will change the position. So you can see we can adjust the position, and we will change the interval, something like this, and we will adjust the position. We'll change all this number of hairs, you can adjust. All this. So just you have to adjust all these sliders. Okay, now it's looking good. We can adjust all these settings later. So you can adjust all this, have where the hair should start up. If you can have more than one hair group, so you can create different hair group and mix them, and so you can adjust the different kind of settings. So all these settings you have to adjust. You have to play with the sliders. All these settings you can have. So you can have the base here, and you can mix different hair. All you have to adjust these settings and different hair. So I'm not going to be the detail how to adjust all these things. So just play with the different settings. So this is how you make some sort of hair. We will start with the body editor. So we actually fixed her face, and we can use her whole body how she want to be looking like. You can make it her small, big, or more hair. So it's depending on how you want the character, how you want the character to be in your scene. And head also the same thing, head upward, so you can create some cool looking some kind of cool looking animation. So that so you can adjust, and let's see, all these things you can play with the values. So maybe okay, shoulder also. So all this you can play with the hand size also. You can increase some sort of animation if you want. You can use its, see how her body shape. It's actually I modeled, I created, adjust all these things. That is why it look different than your system. So you can adjust all these things, smaller size or bigger size. It's actually your depending on how you want to be these things. The smallness for outfit is, you have to check something for outfit. You have to make sure you take a good look at this sliding settings, because we need that. If we put some clothes on her, there will be some problem. So we have to adjust these sliders. Waist also the same, leg and foot also the same, and the foot size you can increase, decrease. So it's all depending on how you create. And we will be using clothing editor. So they provide you a lot of default clothes, so base, uniform, one piece. So actually these are some presets, and if you can select from here or you can select from here. So we'll start from here. Will use the skirt. See, this is the preset. So actually you can see the top and bottom is selected according to this preset. You can select one piece. So you have some cool animation also. You can use uniform pants. All this you can adjust. All this you can adjust. So whichever you want you can adjust, and also you can change the individual settings here, which accessories you want. Maybe it won't have any depending on the program preset. You will get some little bit of information. So we'll use the base model, and we'll start with the clothing. We can use and short or half sleeve. So you can adjust a different kind of animation, and we will be using a hair bottom also. We will be using see, or maybe use some kind of animation which kind of so only you are limited with different clothing here. Actually you can select this and you can change the parameters. So this is very good example how you can create. So you can use, if you want, loafers, whichever it suit with this kind of don't like this. So it's good, but I don't think it's actually fitting with this. So you can adjust, and there will be some more adjustment as I showed you. There is a barefoot, you can adjust how this, but if you cannot see anything here because we'll use none. And if you see how this works, so if you it's only adjusting the shape of the actual character's leg, so not like actually the foot. So you can adjust whichever shoe or whichever footwear the character is using, you can adjust. And that is the end of how the clothing editor works. And there will be a general editor, you can adjust all these things. So here I adjusted the outline, so you can use the outline, see how the outline of a hair adjusted, and the face. Actually I already created all these things, and the body part also. And you can adjust the light, how the light works, and the strength. So all this, if you are plan to use in the Blender, there is no need to use to blend or any 3D application. If you want to export this, there is no need to mix with the general editor. You can just create all these things in your 3D program. So the camera editor, see, actually we created the animation, that is why it's getting. So we'll start with the face expression. You can have her face, so we'll post animation will be the default face expression. So you can have it, actually she will blink, or any character you can adjust that. So auto blink, if you want, you can turn off that, or you can turn on. And look at camera, wherever you face the camera, she will look there. So that's a good thing. And if you don't need that, you can just turn off, and you can move that, or you can make it single. So you want to create some sort of weird looking animation, you can make that. So we'll use that. Look at camera and synchronize both eye. And there is expression, you can make a hair smile. So all this you're just using the slider, the surprise. And then you can mix all these things together to create different animation, just like in the 3D application. And all this you can individually do all this animation. So all this will come as a shape key in Blender, or the blend shape in the Maya, whichever application you are using, it will come like that. All this you can adjust. And there is a thing, how her teeth look like. So you can make fang, so it will look like Dracula or some ghost looking. See, make it. See, all these things you can just mix with and make some fairy looking character. And we will using all this background or things stuff. If you are going to export the animation as a rendered image, you can make slider, all these things you can adjust here, and you can make it a render. And post and animation we already discussed, you can change how she look. Maybe hey, all these things jumping, all you have to adjust at the face expression also, depending on this pose I actually like. So it's very cool how her clothes react with the animation. So that's very good. And lighting also, you can adjust the lighting, wind effect, that will affect how the cloth and the hair animation look. So, and there is also all this anti-aliasing, all these things for exporting your animation as a picture or a video. That's things you can bloom, all these post effects. If you are familiar with this any kind of game engine, you will be known how this kind of things works. Maybe something like Octane, or if you Unreal, so you can make all these things look. See, and there is a capture size, how you want your animation to be exported as a video, and that can be used here. We are discussing about how to export the character inside Blender, so we can use enable hair combination if you want the hair to be exported, and how the texture, so we can make original, so it will be high quality. And there will be an option called export hair to obj. That means you can export the hair only as separate object, or you can just export all these characters. So there will be some called triangles, how many triangles this characters have, it's pretty low compared. So, and you can have how many materials and bones. So you will export, click the export, it will only currently now they the VRoid Studio give you only one option, that is called VRM. So you have to stick with that, and I don't think many 3D application can import VRM, and actually Cinema 4D can import VRM file, but I tried that, but Cinema 4D's default VRM importer failed to recognize this file. So I think this is a new VRM file settings they implemented. So you can create a name for this. So we'll be using test2, can create all these references and all this information. As you can see, name, author name, version, and you can actually create the character permission, you can create licensing, redistribution. If you can actually, they provide all the settings, you can create some character and you can export. So we'll creating the okay, so it will ask for to export. So I will create test2 and take a little bit time. So we will be jumping to Blender and to importing the settings. So by default Blender cannot import the character of the VRM file. So you will see, so this is our actual character. In order to import the settings, we will start from a new one, general, don't save, and as a routine delete the default cube. I don't know why they provide the cube there. So we have to download one more plugin for Blender, or the add-on. So you have to go to this one, I will provide that the link. So it is called VRM importer for Blender 2.8. if you are using lower version, there is another one called 2.79. you can download that also, and see it is unofficial incomplete VRM importer for Blender 2.80, but still it work good. And current for 2.81, machine board done, material board working progress forever, export may be possible. And there is some something called some I don't know, Japanese settings here. So you can read these things if you want, but that is not necessary. I will show you how to import. You have to go to edit, preferences, you have to install that file. So I forget how to download this. So you have to click here in settings, you will just clone all download. I am going to show you exactly how this is going to be done, because in my previous tutorial I already show how the plugin need to be downloaded and how to be installed, but still people do, maybe they skip all the things and just popping in the comment box said, hey, I want need to show how to download these things, how to install. But actually I am showing you how to download and install these things. So just watch this and ask. So here you need to click this green button and see clone with HTTPS. You don't need to open a desktop, just click as download as zip. It will be downloaded in your default location, maybe in the download folder. If you change the location, that will be downloaded to that location. You have to find that. Then in the Blender, go to, sorry, I will show you once again. In the Blender, edit, preferences, you have to go to, it will be like this, you have to go to add-ons. So there will be official community testing. So you can see there is something called install. Click that. it will ask where to find your downloaded zip file. So you have to go to where you download. So actually in my thing it is downloads. So open that. See, you have to find the plugin. So here it's VRoid Studio, sorry, not VRoid Studio, it's actually VRM importer for Blender, and that will be the 2.8. actually I'm using 2.8, so I will use the 2.8 version, and you have to click the install add-on. So it will make install, but you won't find it here like the other plugins. Why? Because you need to use the community, and you have to find the testing, because it is a testing folder. It won't come like this. You have to go to testing, and there you can see import export VRM. By default it will be like this, it will be grayed out, or there is no tick. You have to click that tick and wait a little bit time, so it will be ready. So it's actually in the experimental section, so that is why it won't show you in the installed add-on. So keep in mind that. Just close that, and now we are ready to import your characters file. Go to import, you can see VRM. So I installed it 2 times, that is why it's showing 2. So no need. You can import your character. So it's in the desktop. I will using the one we created. So it will actually ask for some settings here. Make new texture folder, put collider empty, import normal, remove doubles if you want to remove, use simple principal material if you want. So nothing to do, current use in Blender. Okay, so you have to check if all these things are done properly, and import. Just wait some time, so it will be running, and you can see. Okay, so we have our character imported, as you can see. Okay, so this is our character, but without any texture. So there is already showing where the bones are. So I'm going to turn off that, and you just need to click this viewport shading, so it will import the texture also. So it's actually pretty good. See, you can use the EVA. So this is some areas, so you can see we have to fix in the VRoid. Actually I told you how these things actually here it's fit, so it's in the import function. So you can actually create that in the Blender. Just select those vertices and adjust things, and this will be the shaded one. So shaded one and the viewport one, so we get almost the same settings. You can play with this one, body, the face key. You can go to the shape key where it is. Okay, here in the vertex group you can see all this facial expression, how her face expression we want to create. She want, okay, so all these things you can adjust, and maybe the bone, you can select the bone, and you can adjust all these things. So that is pretty good. So you can export this and use in whichever software you want. That's this is simply good. If you want to use in Cinema 4D or Maya, you can select all this, and you can export as Collada. Alembic won't export the textures, or you can use FBX. I think FBX is a good thing that will give you all the stuff like bone animation, or the skin the bone and the skin weight, all the texture and UV will be preserved. So you can import all these things in Unity or Unreal Engine or any software you want, and just make good animation. And that's it. Thank you for watching from ECG. Have a nice day.